it's easy to stray, especially, you have a social circle, people around you, friends and whatnot. At the end of the day, it's not gonna be none of them having to sit in the mirror and look at themselves at a certain age and accept the consequences and accept the decisions that they made in life. It's gonna be you. This video here had a lot of people in a tizzy, in their fucking feelings on the internet because they didn't agree with someone's viewpoint on their daughter, their family, like their direct descendant that they're responsible for, and that society doesn't give a fuck about, will chew up and spit out in an instant, and especially once they become an adult in less than a year. But anyways, man, let's get into this one. What's up, it's your boy Cintron, come back after another analysis video, and I kid you not, it's my real name. And the video in question is related to this one here. The actual creator of the video, well, his daughter recorded, but he posted to his page. Jamore.love, a doting, loving, caring, responsible, thoughtful father who chastised his daughter, rightfully so, for throwing away her virginity. And yeah, there's some people that hear that and they're mad, seeing red, not able to think clearly. Let me ask one question first of all. Where's your father? A lot of people wish they would have had a father in their life. I didn't have one in my life. I wish I would have had one. But you look at the statistics. People, not just women, but men that come from single mother households, where they end up. The statistics aren't looking good when compared to dual parent households, as well as households with a father raising the kids primarily. Those kids coming from the father's household bat about the same batting average as those coming from a dual parent household, which tells you a lot, the impact of a father. And it's just different. They're stricter. They not afraid to rain on the hammer. They're not usually friends with their kids. Yeah, you can have a loving relationship, but also be a disciplinarian. Be someone who holds your kids accountable, because if you don't, society will later. And then rather come from someone who loves you than someone you don't know, who's not gonna give you the same understanding, give you the same kind of leeway, and give you the time to get your shit together, or to be patient with you. Society's gonna lock you up and throw away the key, and often then it's too late, because you're already fully formed, you're already developed, you've already set in your ways, you've already set up bad habits. So I mean, like, this dad is looking out for her best interest. And people say, oh, she's old enough to lose her virginity. What are you doing it for? Women fall in love through these, men fall in love through these, but the responsibility is greater on a woman, because you have so much more to lose, to risk, to end up damaging yourself. And then there's things like pair bonding, and the emotional damage that you go through, being that vulnerable, like the bonding chemical in your head that you guys release that men don't. Like, there's so many things that put you at a disadvantage, especially as someone you don't know what their aim is. When it's so sad that it's become such a great thing when somebody says, oh, they're gonna put a ring on it, marry before you carry. Why is that even a thing? It just makes sense. Get the commitment before you make the commitment to something that won't get you a commitment, but give you a lifelong commitment. So it's crazy that we even have to explain these things. But in society, okay, just say this: you have this contract, right, called marriage. Women can break it, and they actually can get rewarded and incentivized to break the contract, because the government is getting paid for all the money, people. But legally, it gives you some rights, and some entitlements. So if you do that first, you get married, there's a financial windfall in case that falls through, and especially in cases where winnable, where there's physical violence, or the guy, falters on his hand, financially, he can't hold up or whatever. Even then, in the future, he can garnish his wages, child support. There's so many. There's a system set in place to prevent women from, suffering what they did in the past, hundreds of years ago, not even, 200 years ago, when men just kind of had a laissez-faire, shot at, marriage. They could, do what they wanted, divorce, and then have no, repercussions and suffer no consequences. Now you're being held accountable. Now women, you're in charge, but you see that they're abusing the system. That's a whole other video. But that being said, like, she has that in place to prevent her from becoming a victim in society. But we see people out here being professional victims. Ironic. But he's doing this to protect her from herself. Like, just haphazardly having, sex out there just, because someone asked or because they say they love you. How many times do we see people get bamboozled, women get bamboozled by some guy, and then like years later, they're single with kids, or just emotional trauma, like they are bitter, at this age, because they've been using abuse by men because they didn't have the not just common sense, but like they didn't know how to navigate relationships because no one ever showed them what a loving example of a man should be to them, what you should accept, what you shouldn't accept, and just the power of saying no, the power of abstaining, the power of, because in this modern day and age, women control the access to sex. You are the gatekeeper, so therefore it doesn't happen unless it's great without you consenting. So you hold all the cards, but you just out here using it like it's in a game of Uno. You have the ultimate power, those +4, draw 4. You're using it like it's like a 3 or a 4, like it's a regular card, and that's at your disposal. But men aren't gonna value what has become valueless, or like what has become like commonplace, what has become just average, or just kind of like the standard. And people got so mad talking about like it's like he called her damaged goods. No. In the sexual dating marketplace, your value has been lowered. Like, and not only that, this could set a dangerous precedent where you cheapen yourself and you're willing to accept less. And you like I said, you set bad habits, and before you know it, like it's casual to you. It's just like a handshake. Like, it's as much as men enjoy it, like, and enjoy having the free access that you guys hate. Thank you. If we don't have to buy the cow anymore, we can get the milk for free. It's also kind of like sad to see how like casual it is, and then like I said, it affects women way worse than it does men. As far as like by the time you finally meet your partner, you're not able to bond with the person like you previously would have been, having zero or few amount of partners, like few, not a handful, but a few, allowing you to have the marital satisfaction over the course of a long-term marriage. Now people just break it up because they feel like they woke up and they fell out of love with the person. Love is not just a feeling; it should be primarily a commitment. But that's lost in the sauce. But like I said, this guy, he's just trying to protect her, and that's what she signed up for. That's what. And yeah, like he's raising his daughter as a Christian. If you're not a believer, you're not gonna you don't belong kind of in this conversation. It's kind of a step outside of what you can understand, because there's a religious context to it. And yeah, he's disappointed. Yeah, like she broke the contract that that they had in the promise. If someone breaks a promise, then it doesn't come consequence free. Now he's not trying to guilt trip her. He's giving her the reality. And like I said, he's coming from a place of love. He said it in a weird way, but like he has no incentive to lie to her or to try to get over on her. What he's telling her is because he genuinely cares about her. But I mean, guys, we will tell you whatever we can to get access. access granted. You know what I'm saying? Netflix and chill. And he's just trying to protect her from those type of guys. But like I said, she wants to be grown out here, and a lot of women in the comments said, like, I wish a guy had protected me like that. I wish I had a father guy, or I wish I had listened and stopped, not thought I was too big for my britches. Guys in your family, you should have them vet these guys. We're way past that day and age, but we know guys, because as fellow guys, we know guys, and it's for your best interest, because like women a lot of times approach relationships off of feeling based logic and naivety, and that's gonna get you screwed over, quite literally. And in this day and age. So yeah, man, let's get into some of the comments, man. It's interesting. I know I went on a whole diatribe that I didn't mean to go on, but interesting video. Robert the Fifth says he lost me when he said you let God down. You ain't never let God down, so you've never sinned. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're stealing, you're lying, sexual, fornication, whatever it is, they're all sins. And it's not like God's like, it's impossible to forget this person. No, but it's not something that he's happy about. And by way of that, Father, you don't reward bad behavior. Like, that just sounds dumb. Like, you don't get high five for fumbling the ball. They might tell you, like, all right, man, let's just play for next play, but they're not like excited about it. Like, there is some price to be paid for making a mistake, and like willingly make a mistake. Like, if it was like you were just out there like carrying the ball like a loaf of bread, and then you lose the ball because you were hot dogging or whatever, you're gonna get chewed out on the sidelines. For them to reward you to say, oh, it was good, it's all right, it's good, that would not be teaching accountability. And that's what you cross the line. Like, with God, he's gonna let you know. And then the same thing with the Father. Like, she did something that she wasn't supposed to. He let her know kind of what the reality of the situation was. It wasn't like he was being extra harsh, or he was being rude or crass, or just being bullying her. No, he was telling her in love what this means. Like, so for people, like, it's like people are so soft, so sensitive, so snowflakeish. If you do something bad, you're gonna if someone's honest with you, they're gonna let you know. Actually, that's how you grow. Like, this is insane. You want to insulate these people for life, and then wonder why they can't think for themselves or move as adults, because they've been babysat. They've been treated like children their whole lives, and then all of a sudden they're expected to grow up. You're setting them up for failure. All right, Mr. Capilot says, harsh, but handle it like a real dad should to his daughter. 100. Exactly, man. Like, you don't beat them over the head with it. And yeah, some of the things you say, like, they might have been like a little hard to take, but hey, I'm not gonna make a joke like I want to here, but that's the reality of the situation. There's gonna be things like when you're gonna screw up, and then nobody's perfect. But there's been things that I did, I willingly did it. It was dumb, and I needed to be chewed out for it. And I needed to accept my, my culpability, my responsibility in that error, in that mistake, so that I can divert my behavior from that path. Because if I continue going on this way, especially if somebody affirms me, especially in my wrongness, what is my incentive to change? Like, what am I? I'm going to build up a base of false confidence in something that's wrong, and it's going to lead me to even a more dangerous path, because I keep going on erring in the wrong way. Might be dealt with even more severe consequences with this is going to lead to a bigger mistake down the road. And then where am I going to be? And it's going to be even harder to accept reality. So, man, yeah, y'all soft people need to get better, especially get off the internet. Lafika Williams, this is why children don't come to their parents. So, I guarantee you she didn't have a father. I guarantee you. Because whether it's, good or bad, whether, he said in the video, like, she's like, I might not come to you in the future. So then, you're going to just let yourself be rudderless out here, like, if this is something like you're scared to talk to, then what about the really, really hard conversations? Like, life gets a lot harder than this, sweetheart. So, like, if you're gonna avoid, accountability, like I said, someone's gonna give it to you later. I hope you would rather be me, the person who loves you and who cares about you, and who's invested in you. I'm personally invested in seeing you succeed in life, versus an officer who's gonna see you as a name and a number. When they book you in a central booking, you're gonna be a name, a number, faceless. Who's gonna cry out for your case? Who's gonna care about you? Who's gonna the state will be changing your bed sheets, and you'll be getting 3 square meals a day, but you won't have freedom. So like, if a person close to the child doesn't hold it responsible, somebody else will, and might not be so fortunate. Like, this is just dumb. The reasoning behind this, like, you would want your kids to, like you said, like, if you start hiding things, that's only going to be to your detriment, and you're going to find out later. Because like I said, it's going to be like, oh, well, I wish I would have. Boy. All right, now Sting Nikki, the baby mouth drop. Like, he was like, damn. He talking about what's her name? My sister's a thot. Damn, dude, that hurt. Dinka says, why is he shaming his daughter? Damaged goods. Wow. See, it's another person who doesn't get it. We're talking about in the sexual marketplace. Hey, if I have a product and I drop it, and it was perfectly good before, and I piece it back together, do you think the customer is gonna want that product? Even though it was no fault of the products, or no part of maybe the buyer who had the product, that it became broken. All we know that it's broken, and why would I not go get a new one off the shelf rather than buy this broken one, even though it wasn't anybody's, like, not anybody, it wasn't the buyer's fault, of the person it was sold to. Like, so shaming would have been putting her down. Where in this video did he shame her? Where did he make, embarrass her? Where did he make her feel less than? Or made her to be less than? Like, he he's trying to talk to him like a friend. He told straight up, I'm not your friend. I'm not gonna talk to you like a friend. I'm gonna talk to you like a father, and you're gonna show me some respect. Like, so I mean, like, that's this day and age. People, and they have friends raising them, not their mom and dad, but these friends who they feel comfortable coming to and telling anything. And like, that's the thing. Like, she came to him like she misunderstood the situation. You thought your dad was gonna laugh this shit off? No, this is serious. This is about your fucking future. And if you don't, keep on the right path, it's easy to stray. Especially, you have a social circle, people around you, friends and whatnot. At the end of the day, it's not gonna be none of them having to sit in the mirror and look at themselves at a certain age and accept the consequences and accept the decisions that they made in life. It's gonna be you. And what's the best thing I can do for you? Instill in you the right, beliefs, and morals, and lead you on the right path. And hopefully, if you stray from it, you come back. You hold fast to the things that you were taught. And not at some point, everybody's indoctrinated with something. Even if we don't get indoctrinated by our parents, or they don't teach us, by words, or they don't teach us directly. You're letting someone else, take up that position. Why let somebody else play a key figure in your child's life when you could have had the chance? Why take a passive role? Like, it's crazy. Everybody gets a belief system from somewhere. It's asinine to be like, oh, well, just let them have this and that and expose them to everything. No! Some things just aren't inherently good, especially for kids. Like, it's crazy. Like, that's the world we live in. Like, where people want this super liberal way of raising kids to, to be true. Like, no. I mean, if that's what you believe for your kids, that's out of my power. Like, yeah, man. Like traditions are steeped in what? Something. And you trying to strip everybody, to be make them look like you? Nah, ain't never gonna happen. Matter of fact, it makes people do this more. So, anyways, this is dumb. Shaming his daughter, like, you got out of here. Now you're trying to shame him. All right, user whatever numbers now has her mother and father virgins when they married before they conceived children. Next comment deals with this excellently. Kim Pope's solution says it doesn't matter. Many of us weren't taught correctly and didn't learn the truth until adulthood. Exactly. Like, why would it matter? If he's because they're trying to make the argument that he's a hypocrite. There are many people that erred early in their life, but then went on to live a righteous lifestyle. You can't say, "Oh, 20 years ago you were doing this." Now you're reaching. Classic. Like, now you're coming off as like you're trying to project perfection when you're not in this moment, and you have someone come in and tell you something, and you're not giving a willing ear to listen because you're judging them on something that they've already changed on. Like, and they're not holding it over your head. They're holding it over your head, okay. But if they're just genuinely concerned about you and you throw dirt on them, that assassinates your own character. It makes you look bad, petty, small, immature, childish. Like, so it's crazy. Like, if something is right, it's right. It doesn't matter who's giving you the message. It may be hard to accept for the message, but that's a personal problem. That's a you problem. But yeah, we weren't taught correctly. We need to be corrected. And what smart people learn from their mistakes. Wise people learn from the mistakes of others. Like, it's just that easy. Why would I personally go through something when I don't have to, and then get more damage, get more ripped into shreds, get more violated and splintered, when I could have saved myself that trouble by watching how other people move? I mean, I tell you, people are just dumb. Just dumb. All right, Lay says, what does respect have to do with losing her virginity? Her respecting herself. Because, there's religious viewpoint, and then there's just like the layman's viewpoint. Let's just take out the religious part. What is the point of having recreational sex when you're not able to accept responsibilities as a child? And under 18 is still seen as a child in the U.S. If you're not able to work for yourself, provide, have like support system in place, provide yourself food, housing, clothes. What business do you have creating another life? That's irresponsible. Like, so that's not respecting yourself. And by way of that, you're not even respecting the future generation that you created in that moment. You're setting them up for failure. Like, so it goes deeper than, some surface level, like, oh, we live in a modern day and age, people can do whatever they want. Yeah, but even then, still has consequences. It doesn't matter. Yeah, man, it's insane that people just want to live life and think they could, like a video game and just hit the reset button whenever they feel like it. That is not how things work. You have to be held accountable for your decisions, like even seeming light ones, or like dealing with companies and who they're connected to, and like you're culpable for investing in that company, even if you didn't know, even if you fucking didn't know. On some level, you have to be held accountable for that. Or you are accountable for that. Whether you see consequences directly or not. Whether you're, some kind of judgment is passed on you by others or not. All right, that's the last, whatever. We're getting out of here. You didn't get this far, so it's all good. But man, it's an interesting video, man. I know I talked too much in the beginning, but I wanted to do the video, so there it is. Cool. Like, comment, Share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron, Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.